This is the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Yeah.
And we're recording a little bit early this week.
Yes, we are.
Today is Friday, May 3rd. And we are here to talk about all of the fun conspiracy stuff that has happened in the past, well, I guess only 5 or 6 days.
5 or 6 days. Maybe
we'll round up, call it a week.
Maybe some stuff from the past, that come up. We're going to touch on a lot of stuff. There's a Tesla thread. There's an article about the Pentagon lying about UFOs. The Boeing whistleblower, not the first one, the second one.
Another one that mysteriously died.
Yeah, and there's some new images of the Northrop Grumman manta that they released, which is really cool. Some UFO videos. There was one also that was captured over what is it called? Skinwalker Ranch.
Very nice.
There's a metallic sphere that you sent me, the one in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of other new propulsion stuff, new types of rockets, some stuff about Biden and Trump, and some scientific stuff, and then of course the politics of this little country in the Middle East that has a stranglehold over us, passing some laws. So that's what we're going to cover today.
Well, awesome. I'm looking forward to getting into it. But before we start, I should say that is I Want to Believe Adam.
Hello. Well, I couldn't. My voice is not there today. I'm trying to. You ever watch Almost Famous? When it's the editor of Rolling Stone. Whenever he picks up the phone, he's like, "Hello."
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, that's such a good movie. You'd love it.
I'm sure it would. Have you seen Almost Heroes?
No, I've not seen Almost
that one's about. Oh gosh. It's a comedy movie, but it's about people, this group of people that if I remember correctly, they got to the West Coast it's a joke, but they got to the West. I think it's the West Coast before who are those two famous explorers did? The ones who
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, they got to the West Coast before Lewis and Clark. It's got Chris Farley in it. It's pretty.
You're kidding me, Chris Farley? I thought I watched all his movies.
No, unless I'm mixing up movies, which I might be. But anyway, Almost Famous is pretty funny.
All right, nice, man.
I'm the most Topher. I'm the Topherist.
Oh yes,
I'm Topher.
You're the Topherist. The top it's not tippity top Topher. It's the Topherist. So it's like the best Topher.
Right. Of all Tophers, I am the most Topher. I'm the Topherist.
So when you first when I first heard Topher, I thought it was a very unique name. And then when I plugged it in, like, oh, there's a lot of Tophers out there. And then you told me it's the middle of Christopher.
Yeah.
I never knew that until you told me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually met one in real life. I mean, I've met plenty of Christophers, but none of them have gone by Topher. So I thought
I know a Filipino. His name's Christopher, but he calls himself Top because it's Chris Topper.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
So this is from NASA.
Never a straight answer.
Never a straight answer is right, but they're trying to find alien worlds now. They're launching a new satellite in space. It's a habitable worlds observatory.
Pretty cool. I mean, they've been theorizing about these planets for a really long time. I mean, I'm sure you know about all the stuff like the Goldilocks zone, like like a certain amount of distance from the sun. That's where the most habitable planets would hypothetically be, just like where Earth is. And I think Mars too technically is in the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be life on there. There used to be water on there. So
there still is water
Venus
on there
too, right? But it just didn't last very long.
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, that's the thing about space and space exploration. Everything is on such a larger timeline than humans are accustomed to. I mean, we live on average like 75, 80 years, but then you have to look at the universe in a time span of billions of years,
Yeah.
and that's just so hard for us to fathom as humans.
Yeah, our window is so small, and this window that we're in now, that we're alive and have civilization, and then we don't see Venus and Mars having, it's probably just a blink of an eye. Then this one might
Yeah.
go, and then Mars starts up again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the different like timelines of planet Earth. I mean, dinosaurs lived literally millions of years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
And us humans inhabiting this planet is just a tiny little fraction of that timeline.
yeah. Hundreds of thousands of years, I think, is hundreds of gatherers, and then just what few hundred years. Or no, I
Yeah,
guess maybe a couple thousand, right? I mean, since
sure.
Sumer.
Even still, I mean, humans have been around for a couple 100,000 years.
Yeah.
That is it's not even it's a fraction of a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and could you imagine like how advanced we've gotten since World War II? Like how quick that's been? It's just
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah, it's crazy. We're probably approaching the great filter here pretty soon.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, just watching how things are and how people are acting, it is really bizarre. So I mean, so like the James Webb Telescope is looking at planets and see which ones are habitable, by trying to see which ones have oxygen, which ones have water. So I don't know what this one is doing. That's different. Um, so I guess it says here the mission's main objective would be to identify and directly image at least 25 potentially habitable worlds. It would then use spectroscopy to search for chemical biosignatures in these planets' atmospheres, including gases such as oxygen and methane, which could serve as critical evidence for life. So that's what I thought the James Webb Telescope did.
Yeah, but we also was it I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before. They pointed it at the moon of was it Venus? Saturn? Which
Saturn.
Saturn.
Yeah.
And we could see all the blue and green and brown, but
Hmm.
it was so blurry. Hopefully they point
Uh,
this telescope at something. I mean, I know it's really close and they're probably looking further away, but it would be cool to see that a little clearer image of that.
I think you're right because James Webb telescope is $10 billion and it took forever to build. So this one will probably use brand new technology, and it'll launch by May 2027. So pretty
Yeah,
close.
yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So
Do,
there's good things about NASA.
do they still use the Hubble, by the way, or is it just kind of floating up there as junk now?
Yeah, I
They-
still see some things, but not as much anymore.
yeah, the James Webb is supposed to be much more powerful than the Hubble. But we got a lot of really good images from the Hubble telescope.
Yeah, and then what James Webb did, it peered through like those gas clouds that like the Pillars of Life one.
Hmm.
So when the James Webb looked at that one, there was like tons and tons of more galaxies behind it. It's just space is nuts. When I think of
So cool,
space,
man. This is why I want to be a space trucker.
yeah, it's like that character in Portal at the end of Portal talking about space. It's like freaking out,
Space,
space, space,
space,
space.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that guy. So this is cool. Ross Coulthard confirmed from Italian media that there was indeed a Mussolini-appointed unit RS-33 for the study of UFOs. This is the Italian government unit that handled the alleged 1933 Magenta craft retrieval. NHI Tech allegedly handed over to the U.S. secretly in 1944 to 1945.
Very
Um,
interesting. I believe it was in Italy. Um, okay, so I'm pulling something out of the
mhm.
the dusty wardrobe
The
that's I
ether.
that I keep in the back of my brain that is not always accurate. But there were these weird white I don't want to say hairs, but they resembled hairs that fell out of the
Oh
sky.
yeah, 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 yeah. Angel hairs, they called them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That
So
is weird. I mean, I wonder what those were. Probably something that the propulsion created, right? Or some static around the craft that fell. Who knows?
yeah, something, and they never could identify what they were.
Nope. Nope. They never could. Did they ever? We should look that up. Actually, I want to see. I want to see if they're like fiber optics, maybe, or something. Like
Yeah,
what they were made of.
yeah. I mean, that was such a bizarre story, but I think. again, dusty wardrobe in the back of my brain. I think it was around this time, like
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah, it
mid
was.
40s.
Yeah, it was. So, so Merrick Merrick VR shared this, and he goes, he shared something. Question: Is it true that Mussolini put him at the head of a commission to investigate the UFOs? Yes, the Special Research Cabinet 33, of course, 33. Below him was Enrico Fermi. My grandfather was absolutely convinced that extraterrestrials existed. Now, this is crazy because Fermi, the Fermi paradox, he's the one who made
Yes.
that up. What the so he was involved in this and he was acting like there's no life out there. These people, man, so ridiculous.
Yeah. There's just no there's no explaining other than they're being willfully ignorant,
Yeah,
or purposely being misleading.
exactly. Like they're the ones with the information, and that's it. Because they deserve to have the information.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
us plebs, we can go screw ourselves.
Yeah, and speaking of Mussolini, so this is a thread that came out about Tesla, which I thought was really, really interesting. And it's
Everything
a
about Tesla is interesting.
dude, yeah. I mean, I can't believe like till now people are just fascinated by this guy. Like the amount of knowledge or the amount of technology that came out of his brain was just so unbelievable. Like,
Well,
did
I
you
mean,
know he used to do everything in his head? Like he used to simulate everything in his head, and that's why he never tested anything in the lab. He just tested it in his head and then filed the patents.
yeah. Well, and also, I don't know if how many people know this. The U.S. government confiscated so much of his work after he died, and never
Yep.
revealed what it was. They just took it.
Exactly. So that's what this goes through. So during his life, Tesla made amazing discoveries, helped by close working relationship with a man named George Scherf Sr. He was at different times noted as Tesla's assistant, accountant, and friend. Um,
Wasn't I think we talked about this on a previous episode. Wasn't like Trump's uncle part
yep.
of?
So
Yeah.
yeah. Trump's uncle. Yeah. So that's in here too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so during the time they worked together, Scherf, this is going to be about Scherf, by the way, and who he turns out to be, amassed a large collection of Tesla's papers, as well as insights into what he was working on and the previously unknown physics behind that work. Upon Tesla's death, agents, like you said, from the Office of Alien Properties seized his papers and equipment almost immediately. They were then given to John G. Trump, an electrical engineer, physicist, and inventor, as well as POTUS's uncle, for examination. It's such a small world, this thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, he had 80 trunks. So I'm just gonna skip to because I'm sure our audience and we do we've covered this stuff too, but I want to get to who this Scherf guy is. Um, so yeah, he's saying so basically. Remember, so Trump looked at the trunks, the 80 trunks of information, and said, "Oh, there's nothing in here." So this Mr. Wolf is asking, is it possible that someone had cherry picked the technical info out of Tesla's work before he died? Who would have access and know what to grab? His former assistant / accountant George Scherf Sr. stands out to me as a strong possibility. So the FBI contacted Scherf Sr. in 1954 to ask him just that, but instead of showing up himself, he sent his teenage son to speak with the FBI.
Oh my god.
So the son's name was given as George H. Sheriff Jr., and he told the FBI that through his father's work with Tesla, they possessed a large collection of his notes. Sheriff Jr. told the FBI that he was contacted at his home in New York by Leland Anderson. All right. So then, where is it? He goes through all the stuff that Tesla does. So, who exactly were the sheriffs? To answer that, we need to explore another strange but fascinating part of the story. Fast forward to 1999 to Otto Skorzeny, Hitler's former bodyguard and SS officer who escaped after World War II. So that Skorzeny guy died in 1975, but he was apparently quietly living in the U.S. until 99 years old, or is that 1999? On his deathbed, he confessed to his daughter's boyfriend who he was and told them an incredible story. The story was that Scherf Sr. was none other than Prescott Bush,
Oh
and
man.
Jr. was none other than George H.W. Bush, and that they were Nazi spies put into position to continue the work of the Reich and undermine the free world from within the U.S. To back up his claims, Otto had a shoebox full of photos of he and his fellow Nazis after World War II getting together in places all over the world to meet secretly and continue their work of achieving the goals of their Reich. Otto even claimed Scherf Sr. killed Tesla. George H.W. Bush right there. Prescott Bush right there. This is
Wow.
that's Otto right there, the guy who confessed on the deathbed.
Mhm.
This is George Herb. Is this the third? Or is this George? That's George H.W. Mrs. Scherf, George Scherf, which is Prescott.
Yeah,
Isn't that nuts?
that is nuts.
So
Um,
curious. Yeah,
no, I was just gonna say, Tesla is just such a fascinating person in history, and probably honestly, him and Edgar Allan Poe are two of my favorite people from history that I just find both of them. I just found, I mean, obviously
because they're
both
mysterious.
brilliant, but yeah, the mystery behind them,
Yeah.
um, and just Tesla died a poor old
Hmm.
man.
He did.
Um,
Yeah, he did.
and Edison found every creative way to screw him over.
Yep.
Um, but just Tesla was an absolute genius. Have you seen the movie The Prestige?
Yes, I've watched it. I love that's one of my favorite movies. I watch it over and over and over.
Da- David Bowie. David Bowie plays Tesla in that movie.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
he
it,
does.
it's so man.
I
Sorry,
love
I'm
that
not trying
movie.
to get into Topher's media,
No, no, go ahead.
but you got Hugh Jackman,
Yeah,
you've got Christian Bale, you've got
Christian Bale.
David Bowie. I mean, what? And you got Michael Caine.
And it's a Nolan movie,
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a Christopher
Yeah,
Nolan movie.
yeah.
It's just so good. But
It's so good.
and I loved David Bowie as Tesla. I mean, he looks nothing like Tesla, but
But
the
he
role
acted like him.
he did a great job.
Yeah, yeah. Probably
But
one of the best Teslas ever. And just yeah, it's such a like I don't want to ruin anything for those who haven't seen it. Just go watch it. It's such
it's
a fun movie.
it's yeah, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not gonna spoil
Yeah.
anything, but
But
just like the
it came out at
conclusion.
the same time with The Illusionist. So I think that took a lot of because those came out the same
Right at
time,
the same time. That
right?
happens in Hollywood a lot,
Where
where
they
they come up with the same movies at the same time.
like
B
competition.
So I went to my roommate in college my freshman year, one of them, he was a film major, and he said basically what happens is these scripts get passed around to different, studios, and
Mhm.
one studio say, we don't like it," but they develop their own version of that script.
Bastards.
And then that's why the movies come out
Yeah.
the
Okay,
same
that
time.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
They just make we're gonna make a better one.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So
What
yeah, so apparently Bush was leaking this stuff to the Nazis, and that's why they had such advanced technology for World War II.
Very interesting.
Yeah, crazy
And
stuff.
I could totally see that.
I mean, and they keep saying, we had help from other worlds. I mean, Tesla did say, excuse me, Tesla did say that he had contact with aliens. He said that like many times. He thought from Mars or he got messages from somewhere. He was definitely out there, that guy.
He was. I mean, I remember, him saying he could have prevented the Titanic, from sinking because he could have lit up the ocean using his technology.
Wow.
I mean, it's just he had some really out there ideas, but he just wasn't allowed to try them out, which is such a shame.
It is, and they demonize him. Like there's like the first Superman cartoon from the 40s or something or 50s, and he was the villain that Superman went
Oh,
after.
I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, which is too bad. They really tried to villainize him. Like he's like the only reason why now why people know about him now is because of the internet. But like
Yeah.
in academia, they just completely ignored the guy.
Yeah, and Edison did that thing where he killed that elephant using
Yeah,
Tesla's technology.
right.
You know, obviously he wasn't using it the way it was intended, but it's such a dick move.
Such a dick move. I mean, yeah, and Tesla used to just sit there
But
within like in the middle in the midst of his whatever his Tesla coils while they were like just zapping him.
yeah, there's that picture of him where he's sitting there and the
Yeah.
things are going off in the background. It's so cool. But
It is. That's a great picture.
that's I think that's really what pisses me off the most is Tesla was an actual inventor. He built stuff.
Oh yeah.
Edison was a businessman. He didn't
Hmm.
build or invent anything.
No, he was a businessman. He bought patents, right? That's what he would do. He would
Yeah.
acquire companies, acquire patents, and then market them. He was basically a marketer.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, total
Yeah.
marketer.
But we haven't had anyone. I mean, maybe we have because they probably work in the secret government. You know, they probably just snatch these guys up when they're in college or something.
Well, AJ of the Y Files did a really interesting episode about um I think we were was it last week or the week before we were talking
Mhm.
about
The
unlimited
Invention
energy.
Secrecy Act.
Right, and yeah, exactly. And AJ brought up, essentially how patents are abused or stolen essentially
Mhm.
by the government.
Oh yeah, exactly. If it's too powerful, that's it. They lock it down for national security, and then you can
Yeah.
sell it to them, and that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. So on
I
that
love
note,
I love this title, as if this is breaking news. The Pentagon is lying about UFOs. And then in parentheses it should say no shit.
oh man, I mean, how many times do we have to hear that?
Yeah, seriously.
So this is about the we covered it last week, the Eglin UFO
Hmm.
Arrow
Hmm.
report. Remember they said it's some lighting thing, a balloon.
Yes, that's such a I still am flabbergasted by that explanation, but yeah, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so and this is the one that Matt Gates went to go see in Florida, and he went to the base, and they denied him access, and then he told them that basically how power flows within the government, and said, "I want to see the images and the videos," and they finally showed him everything. So this is, and he met with the Air Force pilot too. So according to Gates, fighter pilots tracked 4 unknown objects flying in a clear diamond formation. Notably, the incident occurred on a training range, typically conspicuously free of any airborne clutter. Um, and then we did see some imagery. Where is it? So was it 4,000 feet? All right. So, in a case resolution report published last week, the Pentagon's UFO analysis office concluded with moderate, quote unquote, confidence that the object observed by the pilot. I mean, that should be it right there. No one should take it seriously there, right? I mean,
Moderate confidence that the object observed by a pilot was a balloon. She's likely a large commercial lighting balloon. Oh my God.
continue.
This so-called explanation insults the intelligence of any reader who takes a few moments to review the details of the incident. It did not convince the world's most prominent UFO skeptic. The pilot's sketch of the object, described as akin to an Apollo spacecraft, bears no plausible resemblance to the design of any known industrial lighting balloon. How fucking stupid do they think we are?
They know that most people. I mean, because there are, just go on X and see the people who shared the reports, and we're like, haha, see, it's a balloon. Like they're calling us the idiots. They just want a reason, an excuse that it's not anomalous, that it's just a balloon. There's nothing out there. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people. I've met these people too. They just don't want to think about this stuff. They don't want these questions answered. They don't even have. They don't want to even have these questions
See,
in their head.
this is going back to I mentioned a few episodes ago the 80-10-10.
Yeah. Yep.
80% of people are just sheep.
Yeah.
Whatever they're
They really
told they
are.
believe. That's it.
Yeah.
This reporter, he says he called the Florida-based company that produces the high-end commercial lighting balloons alluded to by the UFO office. According to the firm, it is unheard of that such industrial-grade tethered balloons would spontaneously float away, especially 4 of them in a diamond shape. In a brief video, Emmy-winning lighting designer Matt Ford, who has used the lighting balloons in question, detailed the sheer absurdity of the Pentagon's explanation. So here
So
we are. We
embarrassing.
have all these people. So you've got the government saying, "Oh, it's a balloon, it's a balloon," and then anyone who looks just a little into it
Yeah.
sees how fucking stupid that argument is, or that explanation is.
He called the actual company that the Arrow report uses as an example for those balloons. It's like they sit there and they search the internet for something that looks, oh, all right, let's just say it's this.
Yeah.
They didn't even call them and say, could
They're
it be that?
they're just I, 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 I don't know. I keep going. I'm flipping back and forth in my head. Is it incompetency or is it purposefully being obtuse because most people will buy it?
Yeah, into that.
Sorry, can we pause really quick? I really need some water.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like you said, they just do it because they know most of the public will just accept it. That's it, and it protects their grift forever. For another 100 years, they'll do it for another 100 years if they can.
It's so sad because it makes me want to like run down the run down the street and scream in people's faces about this stuff.
Well, this just reminds me. In COVID, there was like this. There was this comedian, I think it was up in Canada, and he was going in his car, and he had this microphone, and he would slowly go down the road and just scream in the microphone how stupid masks are and how stupid they look, and that they're sheep, and people would come to his car and try to beat him up.
Yeah. No.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's the same thing. People just want to be told by the government or by the authorities something and just not question anything. It's just,
Yeah, man. So there's a woman I work with, nice enough gal. I have no problems with her, but anytime so I have meetings with her department frequently, and she always has a mask on, and this is
till
like,
this day.
yeah, like
Wow.
still is wearing a mask because
That's
we're in a closed room, and nobody. I want to be clear, nobody else in the company wears a mask anymore, ever.
Yeah.
Even one of the guys in my department, he came into work sick because he has no sick time left. And he's coughing and sneezing and all this stuff. And
Oh no.
no one really gives a damn. But every single time we meet, she's got her mask on.
That's too bad. I mean, yeah, I see some people in the store still doing that.
She also has dyed pink hair, so that might give
Aha.
you a little
Okay.
insight into
All right. Okay.
what type of person she is.
Now we understand.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we can move along. It's just,
Yeah.
He's just going to say this is ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. So
Absolutely, it is.
thanks to Arrow, and you sent me this by Luis Elizondo.
My man.
Yeah, man, he's been vindicated. Yeah, still a lot of people talk a lot of shit about him, but I mean, and he addresses the DoD report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to go ahead and read this one?
Okay, so he goes, exactly right, Ross. Well, Ross is talking about.
You probably want to start with the original.
Okay, so Ross Coulthard says the DoD Arrow FOIA response acknowledges a video. This is for the Eglin UFO that we just covered. There's a FOIA response acknowledges a video does exist from the January 2023 Eglin Air Force Base UAP signing, but refuses to release it. But someone is not being truthful because DoD Arrow officially claimed in its report that there was no video because the jet recorder was not working. And if this object was just a balloon, why is it a national security secret? So Lou goes, exactly right, Ross. No video exists and nothing to see here, folks. Well, okay, actually, there is a video, but we can't release it because it's too sensitive of an event that wasn't sensitive. What type of logic is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy to see this. I mean, we need more public figures that are pointing out the hypocrisy and stupidity of our government.
Yeah, and
I mean, God, it's like, like, I mean, you've got a kid. When your child is lying because they can't keep their story straight and they're making stuff up.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
that's exactly how our government acts.
Yeah, although they treat us like the child, but they act like children.
Yeah, exactly.
What I want to say? Oh, so Sean Kirkpatrick would say, well, the sensor itself is classified, and if we release that, then our adversaries like China and Russia can reverse engineer that sensor, and then they can have it themselves. So that's the excuse, and he said it in a recent interview. So they'll come up with any damn excuse.
And they're not even good ones either.
No, but it does work on everyone else because he was on Green Street. Green Street, it was just the New York Post. He interviewed him, and the New York Post released it today, just like it's some bombshell interview with Sean Kirkpatrick. What they called him, the UFO hunter. Oh, please.
More like the UFO. Hold on, shit.
Debunker.
The UFO blinder. No, okay, I've got nothing.
You had something though.
I had a tickle of a thought in the back of my head.
Yeah.
It just didn't come forth.
Yeah. So
Kirkpatrick is a goddamn liar. That's all I'm gonna say.
and he's still lying. The guy retired. Why are they still asking him questions? Who gives a crap? Why don't you ask the new director?
Right.
You know, but because this guy just lies through his teeth confidently, they put him up there, just like Fauci.
Yep, just exactly like UFO Fauci, wasn't that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminds me of him so much.
So obviously Boeing has been going through some defects with their planes, and they've been caught lying about things, and whistleblowers just keep happening to die.
This is crazy.
Whistleblowers at Boeing just keep dying right after they start alerting authorities about what is going on at Boeing.
I mean,
This is so dystopian, dark future, cyberpunk shit. I mean, what the hell?
it's crazy. You think the FBI or someone would investigate this, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's two whistleblowers.
They're in the pockets though. That's that's the dystopian part.
Yeah,
They're in the pockets of Boeing.
I mean, because it probably hurts national security that if Boeing does go down, they are a major defense contractor, right? They have SAP programs too. They probably reverse engineer UFOs also. So they are part of that axis. So they're not going to be messed with. And these court cases and these whistleblowers really would have bankrupted the company because then no one would have bought any Boeing planes. Their stock would have tanked, and then bye-bye.
Yeah, I'll still never forget. Oh, geez, even though I forget his name, who was the journalist that his car magically sped up and blew up?
Oh yeah, I forget his name too. He was going to expose some general.
Yeah, it wasn't even that big of a deal. I mean, obviously the general did something bad, but like when the story finally came out, it wasn't like he was raping babies. It was like he had just done some shitty stuff in the Middle East, if I remember correctly.
Was that what it was? He said, yeah, he said he had some bombshell thing about some general, and then it was in LA, right?
Wasn't his name Alex something?
Was it? I really don't remember.
I man, that sucks. But I still remember how, like, even before I was a conspiracy nut, I remember when that happened. I think it was like 2010.
Journalist, Mercedes,
Yeah, the whole thing was so like obviously sketchy.
Michael Hastings.
Okay, great. Yeah, poor guy.
Even Mercedes were denied to investigate the crash because they said it's never happened before, and they wanted to find out why.
I think honestly that might have been one of the events that kind of sent me down this path of realizing how terrible our government is.
It's scary, man. It's scary.
Yeah, they can get you at any time for anything and make it, and then they can just openly lie, as we're seeing over and over again as we cover all of these stories each week.
Yeah, I was watching something. Someone was reading a 4chan, a 4chan board about gang stalking and how to protect yourself against. Oh no, sorry, it was like an hour documentary about gang stalking. And
gang stalking is really freaky.
Yeah,
should we explain that, or do you think most people know what that is?
Yeah,
I don't think my mom would know what gang stalking is.
Oh, okay, so gang stalking is so now I think 90% of them are probably like it's not happening.
It's just paranoia.
You're right, yeah, but basically, people get messed with, and for either being whistleblowers or saying some truths that or some secrets that they shouldn't be saying, or even espionage from like a corporation, or even just revenge. So what these people use, they use technologies like microwave, and this patents for all these things, where they can hear voices in their head, even they can just feel like they want to puke or dizzy, because these rays are being sent to them, just like what's it called, Havana syndrome kind of thing.
Hmm.
But not just that, they also use the Prism software to put things into their social media feed, things that videos that come up. So they mess with their heads, but to hint at them that they're being watched, but not overtly, right?
Yeah.
um
Well, and from my understanding as well is it also can be physical, not like someone's gonna
yeah.
beat you up, but like you get bumped into by every single person on the street or the subway or on the train or the bus or whatever, and
Yes.
then or they might rear end you, not serious enough to cause any damage, and then they drive off and
Yep, or follow you.
yeah,
People have conversations about a fight you just had or something. Like, say you got in a big fight with someone, so these people will be behind you, like say in Starbucks in line, and then they would say something similar to this to the fight you had, and you just be like, "What?" So they try to make you go crazy, like they try
yeah,
to make you feel
yeah.
like you're going nuts.
It's a whole lot of gaslighting.
Yeah,
It's really scary stuff.
it's evil. I mean, yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
people pay a lot of money to these people to do that.
Yep.
So, well, the whistleblower, so he was 45. He died of a sudden illness. Yeah, it was whistleblower Joshua
This is the
Dean.
sorry, just we kind of went off
Oh yeah.
off on a tangent there. This is the Boeing whistleblower who died, the second one.
Yeah, he was 45 years old. He was fired in April 2023 for becoming a whistleblower. He was rushed to the hospital 2 weeks ago for having trouble breathing. His condition began to worsen. He was intubated, of course, and developed pneumonia before contracting a bacterial infection. According to a CT
MRSA.
scan, he also suffered a stroke. Dean was represented by the same law firm who represented Boeing whistleblower John Barnett, who allegedly committed suicide in March. And that's Barnett there. That's this guy.
Yeah. Man, I mean, just good lord. I mean, so people throw the word fascism around a lot, but literally the word fascism is when large corporations and government work together.
Yep,
And this is exactly what this is. This is what actual fascism is.
it is. It's
Um,
total fascism. Crony capitalism, fascism, they're one and the same. The government and these corporations are one and the same.
yep.
So, this is DARPA releases first images of manta ray underwater drone during in-water testing. Look at that thing.
Does look like a manta ray. At least I got the name right.
Yeah. So it's an unmanned UUV. Was it
A
unoccupied? No.
UUV.
Oh, here it is. Uncrewed underwater vehicle.
Okay.
Who comes up with this? Northrop Grumman, of course, defense contractor, big one. Uh,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
B-2 is theirs, right?
Speaking of huge corporations that work hand in hand with the government,
Yeah,
Grumman is a big one. But
huge.
it's crazy because that does look just like the drones we see in the air.
It does. There a closer image? It's a prototype. There it is. Wow, it's pretty big. That's a boat right there. Is that a
Yeah,
tugboat?
yeah, actually, yeah, from that first image, I didn't realize how big this thing was, but this is pretty big.
So I wonder how long it goes and what it uses. I mean, it's crazy. Everyone keeps saying the country is bankrupt. We're bankrupt, and we're sitting here just spending money on these things.
Oh, the country may be bankrupt, but the government and the military, they're never bankrupt.
Never, never. So this image gives an idea of the size of the manta ray UUV prototype. I mean, it's cool technology, it just sucks that we're not such. I wish we were benevolent
Yeah,
and really protecting freedom and democracy. I
I
wish that was the
wish
case.
I wish us lowly citizens had access to this kind of technology because it'd be so cool to like go check out the what's the B- Bimini steps, you know what I'm
Oh
talking about?
yeah, yeah, in the Caribbean
Yeah.
or Cuba, yeah, the Bimini
Yeah, it'd be
Steps.
so cool to go like get a close up of that.
Let's
Or
see. Does it say how far it goes down?
and then I know you didn't like that movie that I recommended, the one that takes place in the Mariana Trench,
No, it
but
wasn't that bad actually.
I still think it'd be super cool to go check that out, or at
I
least see
mean,
a video of
it
it in person.
it's cool that it was like space in a way. It's just inner space, right? And they had multiple floors like that. So when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that's um I don't like that they started where it was just all hell. Like, like it there was no like, oh, a good time. Like, how Fallout shows you like a good time, the good times first,
Yeah,
and
but
then something bad happens, it went straight to the bad.
well, I mean, ended
It's a
up being a
movie.
movie about Cthulhu, which is why I liked it,
Yeah. So it
and
doesn't
all the
say.
unholy abominations that are at the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, uh, sorry, I keep bringing up movies. Have you ever seen Sphere?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's great too.
That's Michael Crichton, right? Or is it, or no,
It
or did I
was,
bring that
it
up?
was a Michael Crichton book. Yeah,
Yeah, I
um,
love that.
yeah, that movie. So I saw it when I was really, really young. I don't know how or why, and it gave me
Uh-huh.
nightmares for a very long time. And I always had
Really?
recurring nightmares about it, and I didn't know it was from a movie. And then in college, I stumbled across it and watched it. And was like, "Oh, this is where all my nightmares of the
You're
ocean come from."
kidding me.
No,
Because
because
yeah, it is a mind F.
like all those like there's that scene where Queen Latifah's walking and all the eggs are falling. Or
Oh
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. Oh god, that freaked me out for some reason.
And because that thing was messing with people's fears, right? That's
Right,
what it would
that
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the whole point. Anyway, also great movie. Go watch everyone go watch Sphere. It's got,
Yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name, but great and Samuel Jackson's in it too.
Samuel Jackson is in there. That's right, a young
Dustin
Samuel
Hoffman,
Jackson.
that's the main character's name.
Dustin Hoffman,
And
yes.
then I can't remember the woman's name, but she was really popular at that time as well.
I
The
can't
blonde
remember.
lady.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Let's move
Yeah, I
on.
can't remember. All right, so this came up since we're talking about Northrop Grumman. So this is the founder of Northrop Grumman. He was interviewed about UFOs.
Oh, cool.
We're not going to go through the whole thing because he's just in the first like couple of minutes anyway. But he tells the story and then what he thinks. But he's co-founder of Northrop Grumman, so I thought that would be good to
Yeah,
hear from him.
totally.
When I was active in the aerospace industry, our chief test pilot, Max Stanley, who had had a tremendous amount of previous aircraft experience, was making a trip back from Albuquerque to Los Angeles to Hawthorne to our plant there, and he and two very knowledgeable observers saw a UFO which could not be explained by any of the techniques that we knew then or know now. They were able to keep this object under observation for a period of about 20 minutes. And of course, with people of that character, the chance of any hoax or any misleading statements or anything of this sort just simply doesn't exist. These were top technicians who had the opportunity firsthand. Personally, I have never seen a UFO or had any contact with anyone who has other than Mr. Stanley. But I had complete and have complete confidence in him, and I know what he reported was actually there. Well, starting with that interest then, it became a natural thing to read up on what I could here and there in the other place, and my belief in the fact that there are UFOs, so-called, has been reinforced through the years by what I've read. A great incentive to believe, which occurred in 1950. So that's about the size of it.
1950.
Well, it really seems like these UFOs move in very strange patterns. They're able to hover, almost standing still, and then zoom off. It seems as if they must be utilizing some other form of energy that perhaps we don't know about. Now, in terms of our present, aerodynamic technology, do you feel that we're utilizing all that we can?
Aircraft are thoroughly modern and up to date based on our present knowledge. But there is absolutely no question in the world but what there is not only a source of power of which we're not acquainted, but there is also a source of propulsion which we're not acquainted, because the UFO seem to have unlimited power, which perhaps we might attain if we develop fusion. Fusion power is more or less goes on forever. Fission that we're using now utilizes the elements to a certain extent, but fusion recreates the material that's used. And
this guy knows what he's talking about, but our government says there's no UFOs, and here's someone, founder of Northrop Grumman, sharing a story of one of his test pilots, and he got interested in the subject, and he caught the bug. He became a believer.
Yeah, well, good for him. Because I mean, especially at this time, it certainly wasn't a small deal to come out and state your belief about UFOs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that one was in 1950. So it wasn't even us. If for those that say that in the 50s we cracked gravity, that one wasn't us either. So yeah, cool stuff. And there was this video from 2009 reported of a UK man who spotted a UFO that was shining a light down. There was other objects present as well. Yeah. There's no sound. No. So
what the hell?
Is it like zoomed in or something? Oh, there's the light. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. It must be
over.
Whoa,
that is bizarre.
Wait a minute, is that a bridge? Wait. Oh, he's gonna slow it down. I just want to see. Is that?
It could be.
So that thing's huge. Yeah, it looks like it's a bridge or something. All right, so he's slowing it down. And then that object comes out of something else.
Yeah, wow, this is really compelling footage. Because it's clearly not being projected up from the ground,
Right, yeah, it's coming out of this object. It's like it's scanning.
Yeah. Wow.
Almost like those laser light shows, but much stronger. It could be a concert.
A concert in the sky?
Yeah, no. or yeah, those lighting.
And that's at such a weird angle too.
Yeah.
Because it's not completely horizontal. Yeah, I don't know. And then, oh man. Yeah, this is very compelling footage.
So yeah, 2009. So it wasn't that long ago.
Well, it's.
Oh, these are just. What the hell is this? Okay. Oh, so it's like a.
No, I mean I think you're right. I think it is a bridge. That's just the I don't know what they're called, but it's just the thing that holds up the cables.
Yeah. Weird. Huh. Any debunkers?
What do the comments say? Yeah.
At first, I thought this video was of a UAP which shut China airports in 2010. Same beam shining down and 3 red lights visible on top. It's similar.
Backyard lights. Yeah.
Come on, guys. That was funny. That's the thing about UFO Twitter. They suck, man, in giving likes. That one was pretty nuts.
Well, it's so hard to convey sarcasm with, text only.
They probably thought I was serious.
Yeah, exactly. What's that say?
3 different locations. I believe this is happening at 3 different locations. Third Phase had a video on this as well. Oh, secure team.
Yeah, interesting.
You don't like that guy.
Interesting.
Seen in China.
Huh. So nothing. No comments blatantly pointing out that it's a hoax or anything like that. Very cool footage.
Other than my joke, no.
What's that say? Oh my God.
What are the odds this was in China, I believe?
So this does seem like it happened in China.
Oh, it could be just the same thing, right?
Oh,
this is from a Chinese airport. Fake. It was from France. AI or PS.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay.
There's one.
Everything's AI. No, that's really cool footage, man. Good find. I hadn't seen that one before.
Yeah, thank you, Think Tank. He's got some good ones. He fights all the debunkers too. I don't know why he wastes his time. Like he'll sit there and I'll just fight with him in the comments, and it's tiring.
UFOs above Boise. 6
Yeah.
reports since 2023. See them here. West leads U.S. in sightings.
So
What
this
is
is the
that?
Idaho Statesman. There's a lot of local news now that cover UFO sightings.
Yeah, I mean, Idaho's that Boise obviously is a city, but Idaho's that rural area of the country. Back in my neck of the woods.
I wanted to move there actually because it's cheaper.
Yeah,
The weather is like, it's mild, not too cold, not too hot.
I think I'd be more than happy to live in Boise.
Yeah, it's up in the mountains. It's not too populated. Just when shit hits the fan, it's a good place to be, I think.
Yeah, and plus my hometown's just a hop, skip, and a
Oh yeah,
8-hour
exactly.
drive away.
Just a few hours.
Yeah.
So they go through a couple of reports from this year from the National UFO Center, New Fork. Nothing crazy. I mean, should I click through it, see if there's pictures?
I seriously doubt you'll get pictures, but you could give it a shot.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. So it took me to the New Fork website. That's not. What does she say here?
That's a smudge. That's a smudge in the lens.
I watched for about a minute trying to figure out what I was seeing. I went out on the deck and watched and then tried to take a photo. Using the night mode setting on my cell phone, I did capture the object. The picture quality is not good, but it appears the object had rotated, now looking longer in a horizontal direction. My husband also saw the object.
I'm just shocked that people from Idaho are called Idahoans.
Idahoans?
Well, go back to that last screen.
Oh,
she
wait.
says, "I'm a 51-year-old Idahoan." Very last sentence.
Oh, Idahoan. And work full time. My husband's 53 and works full time as a law school professor. All right. I mean, at least they're telling us that they're credible people and they're not nuts.
Right. Interesting. Black with no lights. Yeah, I mean, we've seen plenty of UFOs like that.
Yeah, and here's another one, black and gray, 25 miles per hour. I mean, that's not really anomalous. Object was observed at higher elevation first and slowly moved west to east. Object moved lower in a continuous motion until it was no longer visible behind buildings. There are several videos and photos. Oh, wait, let's click through this one.
Yeah, let's take a look.
What's unknown? Wait a minute. Oh, estimated size. Whoa. Is this a video? Yes, it is. Where is it? Oh. Yeah, I mean, phones, you really have to zoom in. Whoa.
Another cylindrical shaped UFO. We have seen a lot of those recently.
Mm-hmm. Like, what are they
This
doing?
one's completely vertical, which I find interesting.
And oddly shaped, too.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Like, what the hell is that?
Yes, it's not like it's looks like it's like fatter in the middle, like not like a perfect silo shape.
Like it bows out.
Yeah. Interesting.
What else do we have? I think that was it with the videos and pictures. But it's cool. I like that these V-shaped formation, very silent.
This is a really cool website. The fact that they break down like the color, the estimated speed, when the date was, how long the duration of the sighting was. Really, Idaho Statesman, great job on your reporting, guys.
I know. Is there any? There's no videos or pictures of this one. A V-shaped formation that there is, and there was lights on object. When passing overhead, everything went silent. Have a water pump that is running nearby, and then as they passed over it was like a cone of silence passed over us as well.
Yeah. Again, another common thing with UFOs.
Yeah, everything goes silent, especially nature, right? Like,
yeah, yep, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
You know who else does that? Bigfoot. Whenever sightings of Bigfoot happen, everything goes quiet. One of these
days we'll have to dig into do a Bigfoot deep dive, because
Look
I'm
what's going on,
very,
man.
very torn on that subject.
I mean, there's just so many reports, and again, it's like the UFO thing. There's no videos, you
Yeah.
know. But like when you read these stories, some of them are just so frightening. It's all about hunting. It's usually hunters that are out there in the wilderness that encounter this thing. Fishermen too. Like there's one that was really scary where they were sitting there fishing, and all of a sudden they saw like 4 Sasquatch behind them. Basically, they wanted the fish, so they just threw them their fish and they went away. I
That's a
mean,
good plan on their part.
I know, right? I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? No.
I
Hey,
know,
catch it yourself, asshole.
9 foot tall beings. Oh, there is one video that that it's not fake, or I don't think it's fake. Is that one? It's in Montana. It's what's that geyser there?
Yellowstone.
Yeah. So in Yellowstone, there, and it's a webcam, and it actually captures these beings, but it didn't mean to though. But then it pans away because I think what was it called? Old something was erupting, so it panned away. But you could see them walking, and they're going after the elk, or sorry, the buffalo, and they're huge. They were like 9 foot tall, just walking in the snow really fast. I'll send you that video.
Yeah, please
Um,
do. Yeah, I'd love to
yeah,
see that.
that was one of the ones I'm like, okay, there's something really going on here. Like these things just kill buffalo.
Yeah. Well,
You know what?
humans perfected that a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that's true. We almost eradicated them. I had this theory once that UFOs actually send them out to clear the area, or to as like a security thing, like a perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but that's all you can do with that is just have theories.
Right. So what's this one you got here?
This one's chilling moment. This is the one at Skinwalker Ranch. So 4 UFOs are captured on high-speed camera as scientists investigate possible portal on Utah's Skinwalker.
Yeah, we've talked at length about Skinwalker Ranch, I think, in some of our early episodes. Skinwalker Ranch is, if you ever watch, if you're ever looking for, I mean, I know you've seen it. This is for our listeners. Check out the documentary Hunt for the Skinwalker. It's good. It is Jeremy Corbell, which obviously I mean, at least I've got some beef with him.
Yeah,
He
many people do.
he tried to jujitsu me at a show once, but it is a really good documentary, and the book is really good as well.
Yeah, documentary is great. It was produced well also. So I mean, there must be some kind of portal there, and that's why these things are there.
Yeah, so this kind of, I don't know if I've discussed this on the show. I'm sure I have. I keep saying that all the time,
Mhm.
but I think reality is thin in some places, and I think Skinwalker Ranch is one of those places where reality is really thin. I think there's places in West Virginia where people have seen Mothman and stuff like that. I think reality is really thin there too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think there's places in Texas and Nevada and even up north, like in eastern Washington or Idaho or even Montana. I just think there's different places in our world where reality is thin. And I think there's a lot of,
I agree.
like places in the Middle East too, stories about like the jinn, for instance. They don't come out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
funny you say that. Something's coming up about that.
Cool. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of thin places on our world where another reality can partially pass through.
I agree, and it's like they're on another plane or another existence or another vibratory or different frequency, so they can maybe they slow their frequency down, and that's how they come into this dimension, I guess we can call it. And then some areas are just easier to do that in.
Mhm.
But these looks really strange, John. They're square, there's lights on the bottom.
Yeah, if you watch the documentary Hunt for the Skinwalker, they talk about these things. They're called chupa chupas, I think.
Oh, so they talk about these?
Yeah, basically they look like refrigerators almost,
What?
which
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
yeah, and they're white and they're like rectangle shaped. But if you can scroll down just a little bit more, a little bit more. Just scroll down. Just keep scrolling a little bit. I could have sworn I saw something interesting.
These are the gates.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, never mind.
This?
No, it was an ad on the side of the screen of a very attractive woman dancing.
Oh, wait, I think I saw it. Where'd you go? See, the ads are actually blocked. It was.
Yeah, no, that's good. We don't want to get distracted by stuff like that. I just thought it'd be funny if I just thought it'd be funny if I was like, oh, scroll down. I saw something interesting, and then I was talking about that.
I saw her though, the blonde.
Okay, yeah.
I saw this too. You sent it to me. It's been going around.
Yeah, this one. Do you remember the story? I think it was in the 70s where that family found the sphere on their property and it would like roll on its own.
Oh yeah.
And then
in the 70s, right?
I think it was the 70s, yeah. And the government said they were going to use it, they were going to take it and test it, and then what the family got back was not the same silver sphere.
Right, they took it.
Yeah. But this, okay, so sorry, I should read the title. Huge metallic silver sphere found on an Australian farm. Witness is too spooked to get a closer look. The quote-unquote sphere is approximately 4 to 5 feet in diameter. I'm trying to exclude the possibility of it being a Lincoln calibration sphere, which I don't know what that is.
Wait, can I search? Usually I can search like on
but
the side.
But also, man, if you find a silver sphere on your property, you can't be too spooked. You got to go check that shit out, man.
I agree. The Lincoln calibration sphere is a hollow metal sphere with a precisely defined radar cross-section used to calibrate ground-based radars. It's made of aluminum, has been in Earth orbit since 1965, and is considered the oldest functioning satellite, despite having no power or electronics. What? I didn't even heard of this thing.
I haven't either. I don't think that would just end up on some Australian farm, right?
What is he talking about? How do you even know about that? All right.
I don't think the comments are worthwhile.
Okay.
But
that's bizarre.
Just something, very bizarre. Just a big silver sphere that apparently spooked the farmer out so much he wouldn't approach it.
Look at that.
I don't think that fell out of space. There's no way.
Who the hell put that there?
Yeah, where'd it come from? Because if it fell out of space, it'd be in a big divot in the ground.
You're right. Exactly. And we don't see that. That's really weird.
Very interesting. Anyway.
I forgot what people were saying online about it. They were saying something. So here's Tupacabra on X. This letter was sent the same day Roswell was announced. They do not come from any planet, as we use this word, but from an etheric planet that interpenetrates with our own and is not perceptible to us.
Yeah.
That's very similar to the Jinn.
Yeah. And this is what I've been saying since we started this show, is that I don't think they're interplanetary. I think they're interdimensional.
Yeah. And so this July 8th, 1947.
Look at that.
Yeah. Memorandum in the FBI.
Number one, part of the discs carry crews.
Yeah.
Others are under remote control. 2, their mission is peaceful. The visitors contemplate settling on this plane.
Really?
3, these visitors are human-like but much larger in size. That's new, but it kind of fits in with the tall whites. I don't know. Did you see the Y files about the tall whites? I think it's his most recent one.
I did not finish that. I wanted to though, because I love those stories. I think I got halfway through, but I read those books. We've talked about them too. Hall.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And last podcast on the left has a really hilarious episode about that. Because basically, they make fun of the guy who wrote the books.
He's easy to make fun of, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently the guy he was throwing up like all the time, not due to radiation, but just because he's the type of guy that like he's excited, he throws up. He's really nervous, he throws up. He doesn't know what to do, he throws up, and that's in the books, and it's really funny the way that last podcast on the left.
I mean, it is really scary. I mean, the guy, no one wanted to
Oh
go to the
yeah,
to
oh
the
God,
right
and
the what thing. Yeah,
Range 4 Harry, like that whole
yeah,
story is so cool.
yeah.
So cool. But yeah, basically these people would, for those who don't know, um I can't remember the name of the guy, but it's proven he worked in the military and at this site, which was it Los Alamos? I don't think it was Los
It was
Alamos.
S4. It was part of Area 51.
Yeah.
That beach.
Anyway,
Yeah,
he was told, listen, if you see a horse running around, don't approach it, don't look at
a
it.
white horse,
A
right?
white horse, yeah. But oh, and also the other, so he was working at like a weather station. They had to
Yep,
measure wind
yep.
speeds or something, and
Alone.
all the other people that worked in that division would just make up. They would just make something up, and they would never go out there because they were too scared. Except he went out there,
Yep.
because they were all really scared of Range 4 Harry. That was his name, right?
Range for Harry. Yeah.
Yeah. And he ended up meeting the tall whites and had very interesting communications with them.
Yeah, and apparently, our defense contractors were making parts for their ships.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, is they basically were using us as a truck stop.
Yeah,
And we would go out and we would try and fix their ships, and they would fix our ships, and it was a fun little exchange.
and they loved family, right? They were really protective of their
Yes.
family. They're like homeschoolers too, or something.
And
And
also, if I remember right, they loved Vegas as well.
yeah, yeah, they did love Vegas.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre story, but what's crazy is even all of the weird stuff the author wrote, it can all be confirmed. That's the
Yeah,
crazy part.
right.
Is it seems like he's making stuff up, but when you go and look at the facts that he states, they're all backed up with
It's
truth.
crazy. It's crazy. And it's not secret because he wasn't working on anything secret. He was just in that weather station and he happened to, interact with these beings. And that's not a secret.
Yeah,
So he was allowed to talk about it.
yeah.
Someone should make a movie about it.
Oh yeah, no kid. I would love to see that movie.
Yeah, maybe Nolan. Oh, how come Christopher Nolan doesn't get into aliens? He should. I
Dude,
want to see. Yeah.
it's funny. I just watched Oppenheimer finally, and
Oh, did you like it?
yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
But they were talking about the Trinity explosion,
Yeah.
and I think I probably went through the same thing that you went through. I was like waiting for the UFOs to show
Yep.
up.
Yep. And he didn't do it.
No, of course not. Of
He
course,
could have just done it as a passerby kind of thing. You didn't have to focus on it that much anyway. Well,
yeah,
it's his decision. So yeah, they are not excarnate Earth people, but come from their own world. They do not come from any planet as we use this word, but from an etheric planet which interpenetrates with our own and is not perceptible to us. The bodies of the visitors and the craft also automatically materialize or on entering the vibratory rate of our dense matter.
very interesting.
Yeah. So it was in 1947. I mean, this country was just they were
Oh,
so much more
this is
open.
interesting. The discs possess a type of radiant energy or array which will easily disintegrate any attacking ship. They re-enter the etheric at will. Is that
Well,
what that
yeah.
says?
hmm
And so simply disappear from our vision without trace. I mean, this goes along with every UFO sighting that
Ooh,
has ever
Tesla. Oh,
happened.
Tesla. The region from which they came is not the astral plane, but Koros, Pons, to the locus, or Tellus. Talus. Students of esoteric matter will understand these terms. Well, listeners, viewers, if you know what that is, please comment on the
Very
video.
interesting though that they name the astral plane as in like they believe it exists. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
you wouldn't um I don't know how to explain it, but the fact that they name the astral plane is I find very interesting.
that is weird. Like, yeah, where angels come from.
Yeah.
This is
They
interesting.
probably cannot be reached by radio, but probably can be by radar if a signal system can be devised for that apparatus.
Yeah, or aperture. Yes, I think it's apparatus.
Yeah, sorry, it's hard. It's hard to read.
No, I,
We're looking
yeah,
at a listeners at home. We're looking at a document that's been scanned, and obviously the document's really old, and there's
very
stuff
old.
written all over it, so it's kind of hard to read.
Right, declassified.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's a
cool.
very cool find. Yeah.
Oh, this. So Israeli Harvard astrophysicist. So talking about the astral, right?
Astral plane. Yeah.
Yeah, the Messiah will come from outer space. That's Professor Avi Loeb. Where is it? He was at an event. It's called World.Minds. So during the dinner at which Loeb and former CIA Director David Petraeus were the special guests, Loeb said, "My personal belief is that the Messiah will arrive not necessarily from Brooklyn, as some Orthodox Jews believe, but rather from outer space."
Okay.
Yo.
I made this joke last week. I'm going to make it again because I think it'd be really funny. So, UFO comes down. We've been told ahead of time it's the Messiah. A giant clown steps out.
Oh, yeah. The Messiah is here. Brace yourself, honk.
Honk, honk.
Oh, man. It's just funny, though. And of course, Loeb is going to do this. You know, it has to be all about the Jewish Messiah and their religion, and because they make everything about that. So,
of course.
Yeah. So I thought that'd be interesting. Loeb argued that humanity is heading towards a cosmic exodus led by an extraterrestrial superhuman entity.
Honk, honk.
Oh man, exodus to where? Liberate a few thousand people from slavery. Okay, so
you get to go to Clown World because this isn't enough of a clown world already.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly. So it is already a clown world. That'll be just the capstone right there.
Cherry on top.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Oh no. Okay. I think we actually covered this last, or because I was reading through it, I'm like, oh, it's just a rehash of that propellantless engine. An engineer says
No, go ahead.
An engineer says he's found a way to overcome Earth's gravity. The new propulsion system would rewrite the rules of spaceflight, not to mention completely defy conventional physics. This is Popular Mechanics.
Honk, honk. Sorry, I'll stop.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be the title of the show. The Clown Messiah.
The Clown Messiah. Honk, honk.
Oh, I didn't even know this. The company's called Exodus Propulsion Technologies. You're kidding me.
Wow. Breakaway civilization right there.
Exodus Propulsion. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to get the hell out of here. So yeah. So I think we did cover this. It was the EM drive kind of thing. But of course, Popular Mechanics makes fun of it at the end. And then they said that before any alternative propulsion enthusiasts should start popping corks, rigorous third-party research will have to verify the results again and again. While it's not impossible that Bowler et al. Stumbled across some unknown quirk of physics, it's an extremely unlikely outcome. For now, let's call it an improbable engine.
Well, you know, this is what they say about all science.
Yeah.
People thought penicillin was dangerous until they realized it wasn't. I mean, there's thousands of times something like this has happened.
Yeah, I mean that's how science works. You're right, and you know, I shouldn't bag on them for saying that. So yeah, I mean it's a discovery, but the thing is, didn't that happen also with cold fusion, and then they messed that up or something, so they weren't able to reproduce it, and then what happened with that? It was a big story back in the 90s where they came out into press and they discovered cold fusion, and then no one could reproduce it, so then they were. Yeah, I remember something like that. And now here's 100,000 thrust N. What's N? I don't know. Neutrons?
Newtons, maybe?
Newtons. Yeah, I think you're right. Thrust-powered nuclear rocket could offer fastest Mars trips.
Hire me. This is what I want to do.
You know, you could. Someone was taking applications from Mars. I think it was NASA.
Well, I know there was like 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. There was a private company that was planning to do a Mars colony, and they were accepting signups, but obviously it went nowhere because they
Oh,
had no money. But
so
I do know NASA does this is kind of off topic, but I do know NASA does tests where basically they put you out in the desert and you have to pretend like you're on
oh
Mars.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they pay well?
I don't know. I didn't look into it that hard. I just know that it exists.
I mean, is solidarity hard? I haven't done it for a long time, so I don't know. Like I like solidarity, like being alone, but I've never done it for very long.
I
But I don't mind it.
I think honestly, I don't have a problem with solitude. I honestly think I could do something like that. That's like the space trucking thing. I mean, that would
Yeah.
you'd be alone, and I don't know. I think I could manage that.
Yeah, and the vacuum of space, the immense, well, not vacuum, just the immensity of space. Just could you imagine how that even like I don't even know how to even perceive that.
Well, we're humans. That's the thing. I mean, think about like a flight on a plane, like a long flight. Like for the first part, you're looking out the window and going like, "Oh, that looks so cool," and then pretty soon you're just like, "All right, well, now I'm sitting in this metal tube for the next 6 hours." You
That's
just,
true. Yeah.
I think the human condition is you just get used to whatever. Like for me, when I'm thinking about space trucking, I'd of course be staring out the window, being like, "Whoa, sweet!" And then after a week of that, you just kind
Right.
of be like, "All right, well, now
Bored.
I'm gonna sit here," you know.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have internet on those things.
Yeah, well, yeah, internet, video games, write a book. I mean, you'd have
Oh
so
yeah,
much
write a
free
book too.
time.
So this is cool. I mean, so it's plasma rockets. I'm glad that all these things are coming out now. I mean, it feels like it's happening really fast. All these technologies being released, you know, and
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we've had these forever already. It's been already there. Electromagnetic launcher. It's like the three body problem, but I mean they were exploding nukes.
Yeah, yeah. Have
Oh,
you?
I was gonna ask. I saw on Prime that they have another one. So did they make two different?
So, there's one that is produced and made out of China.
Oh, okay,
So you either have to watch it with subtitles or watch it dubbed. And then the one on Netflix is the American
okay,
version.
got it. Okay, that's what it was. Mars personally has only robotic explorers who have become permanent inhabitants without needing to return to Earth. So, I mean, it looks like we really are going to Mars, or is this just more just talk?
Man, how long have we heard about going to Mars? I remember during his first term, he was
Hmm.
talking about the US going to Mars, and as far as I can tell, we're not any closer. Um, to me, this kind of seems like all talk. I'm starting to get.
Oh, I think your mic muted. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm getting the feeling, especially seeing Bezos and Musk flying out to space. It's going to end up being a private, not I mean not a government program. It's going to end up being a private one.
Do you know, speaking of Bezos, do you know he wants to put humans up in orbit to leave Earth uninhabited? Not uninhabited, but he didn't want any humans on Earth just to keep it pristine and to put us up in space, like in orbit.
Well, there's a lot of barriers to that, but the first one that comes to mind is humans in low orbit. We tend to decay because we need to use our muscles, and you don't have to use muscles in zero gravity. That
Yeah,
that's why when all these astronauts come back from their mission on the ISS, they have to go through rigorous rehab once they get back
I'm
because
sure.
your muscles just decay.
And the whole like daytime, nighttime thing, right? I mean, I'm sure that
Yeah.
gets messed up.
Oh, this
I've
is
seen this before. I mean, the thing is, he speaks in Spanish here, but it's hilarious. Um,
yeah. I can give a translation.
oh,
I'll talk through it.
Okay, this is Javier Milei.
Yeah, he's just saying don't give a single inch to leftists.
Yeah, and he's basically, and he's screaming. This is before he became president. But it just shows you how sick Argentina was of like socialism and the left, because this guy was just, all he did was just trash socialism and the left on mainstream media, and they voted him in.
You gotta make sure to put the volume on.
Oh, okay.
I know it's in Spanish,
I'll
but
turn it down. Wait,
I
just
still
so we can
think
hear
it's
you.
worth it. You can't give shit leftists a single millimeter, and then okay, actually, you're gonna have to pause it scene by scene. So he says you can't give shit leftists a single millimeter, and the interviewer asks, "Can you define shit leftist?" And he says, let's say all collectivists, all of those who put forth these ideas, and he's talking about leftist ideas. And she asks, but why do you call them shit? And he says, because they are shit.
His face.
And then I guess he continues, if you think differently from them, they will kill you. And we're seeing that here in the modern day. And he goes, that's the point. That's why you can't give shit leftists a single millimeter. If you give them a single millimeter, they will use it to destroy you.
Yeah, we've seen that here.
Yeah. And she just, you don't negotiate with leftists. No negotiation. You don't negotiate with shit because they will end you. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we're seeing nowadays.
Absolutely.
If you disagree with us, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a fascist,
white
you're
supremacist.
Right. I mean, it's exactly what they do.
Speaking of the left, you sent me this. Biden calls U.S. ally Japan xenophobic, along with India, Russia, and China. See, the left can't handle sovereign nations and like what do they call, like ethno states? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, anyone who has traveled to Japan, I can't speak for India. Well, I can't speak for India, Russia, or China. I can't even truly speak for Japan. I've never been to any of these countries, but I've never heard of anyone going to Japan and having a rough time because they're black or they're white. They're not Japanese. I could be way off about that, but the point is, all of these countries, they care about their country first because, of course, of course they do. It's their country.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about diversity. Okay, fine. Yeah, well, if you mix everyone and everything, you're not going to have diversity. You know what I mean? Like, God, maybe we shouldn't go down this, especially if we're on YouTube. but Japan, it's funny he's saying this now because Japan is accepting now a lot of, I think it's Indians or just for laborers, which is a first. They've never done that before, and they might be pressured into it.
All I know is back in Nam. And I actually have been in Vietnam. Everyone was super friendly, and they were super excited to like meet us.
I'm sure
it was like being a celebrity or something. It was bizarre. People wanted to take pictures with us, wanted to party with us. Like I remember we went to a bar, and the entire place blew up. I mean,
how cool.
They were playing like DMX and stuff, and they were so excited that we were dancing and drinking.
Americans in the house, yo.
There actually that same night, God, Vietnam was so great.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 9 days. It was the last class I took in college. Actually, it was a travel course. We walked into a bar, and it was a Viet Cong bar. So they had all of the anti-American posters up and stuff like that. And we were like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't be here. And they were all so friendly and cool with us.
Really?
It was just the funniest thing.
So the government was like, had all those posters up?
I don't know. It was just the theme of the bar. It was like the theme of the bar was Viet Cong. And there's a bunch of like like the old timers there that you'd think, when we first walked in, I thought we were getting the stink eye, but they just wanted to talk to us and find out who we were and where we were from, and like they were so cool. It was just,
That's awesome, man. They have great food too.
oh my god, I had never had pho before, and oh my god, it is amazing.
Yeah, and you had it there. Wow, lucky you.
Yeah, I had the authentic pho experience. It was amazing.
And they
It-
have the sandwiches, banh mi or something.
yeah, banh mi, yeah.
Banh mi, yeah.
We had those too. It was great. Oh god.
Because it's
Uh,
French influence, right? In their cuisine. That's
mm,
what the banh mi banh mi is.
yeah, that makes sense. And the other thing was everything there was super cheap. I got a fully fitted suit for like $200. And God, I
Nice.
just like, oh, and I made friends with the woman who tailored my suit. She had learned English from watching the BBC, so she had a British accent.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, God, no, Vietnam was so cool, man. I had such a great time there, and I didn't know what to expect, but I had no well, okay. The one I can't really call it a bad experience, but you go to these temples, right? And some of
Yeah.
them are in caves. And the one thing that really bugged me was everyone would just throw their trash on the ground. And I'm not talking about tourists. I'm talking about the people who
Yeah.
live there. And so
Third world countries are like that.
you'd walk into these temples and there's beer cans and just trash everywhere. That was a bit of a bummer. But I didn't meet anyone that had anything. I had no negative experiences with any of the people in Vietnam. They were fantastic.
Really cool.
Oh, also we went to a club that was Apocalypse Now. It was the theme of Apocalypse Now.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, I had a great time. Anyway,
Dude,
sorry, that was a long tangent.
No, not at all. You sent me this. I didn't get it. Real men wear diapers. Trump supporters spotted in nappies at rallies.
Yeah, I just thought this was a really weird one. I don't know what to make of this, if I'm being honest.
It's all.
I know Trump's in the middle of his trial right now.
Key witnesses, former attorney Michael Cohen, which was shown in court. Trump's criminal trial began last month. Here they are. The posts from Cohen, which were posted in April, show him taunting Trump and calling him the nickname Von
Shits and Pants.
Oh, what? Why? Because he's old?
Dude, I honestly don't know. I just thought this was like funny and weird. That's why I sent it to you.
As a result, the official court stenographer typed the phrase "shits in pants" in the court record. Oh, okay.
I guess it's just this is the state of what our politics are at this point.
There it is. Hey, Von shits in pants. Your attacks on me stink of desperation. We are all hoping that you take the stand in your defense.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been paying too close of attention to this trial, but it does seem like a really stupid thing.
Diapers over Dems. Come on, people. This is actually a thing now. Wow, that's embarrassing, America. Where real men wear diapers instead of shitting your pants, basically. That's so stupid.
The problem here is I have no idea if these people are supporting Trump or against him.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
Anyway, I mean, this is the state of American politics at this point, and quite frankly, it's just so dumb.
Yeah, it's probably because it's a simulation. Why?
Nice segue.
A scientist says he has the evidence that we live in a simulation. Many have come, saying this, but this is a new guy. Yeah, exactly. Many philosophers and scientists have pondered if we live in a simulated universe, and University of Portsmouth scientist Melvin Vopson believes he has evidence.
So here's the thing, and this is kind of this is the nice edge I live on. Does it matter or not if we live in a simulation?
I mean, no, not really. But I guess we are just such inquisitive beings, right? And we're always trying to find meaning in, I guess, existence itself. But yeah, I mean, you could find meaning without really finding the meaning of existence, but finding meaning in your life, right, and people around you and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's obviously, a big question that's asked by a lot of people, like what's the meaning of life? I mean, to me, the meaning of life, there is no meaning to life. You have to find your meaning
you have to
of
find it.
life.
Yeah, right. You have to find your own meaning to life and your own purpose.
Right.
Um,
Whether it's being successful at your job, or
yeah,
starting a family,
hmm
or creating a dynasty or something like that. I mean, that's the meaning of life. It's
yeah,
finding your meaning.
yeah.
But like
Finding your path.
it doesn't, so at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't really think it matters if we live in
Good
a
point.
simulation, because let's say tomorrow a big face comes out of the sky and says, your life is a simulation. Like, what's that going to change? You know what I mean? Like,
Nothing really. No,
you
you're right.
still, I'm still going to go to work tomorrow. I'm still going to have to put food on the table, keep a roof over my head.
Yeah.
And then what happens if you escape the simulation?
Well, maybe that's what I think these guys want to do. They want to escape it or something. Maybe these billionaires, or because someone's funding. I mean, yeah, it's a university, um, but it gets so many books are written about this. He thinks
And
that
movies.
digital in nature, and yeah, so many movies. I love 13th Floor. That was before the Matrix, right? 13th Floor.
I don't think I've ever seen 13th Floor.
Ooh, you should watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now, actually.
Yeah, it's in the nine. It's from the 90s. I think mid 90s.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah, really cool. All right, moving along. Oh, this is really disturbing. This is from decentralized parties, great accounts on X. So apparently, this is real, and they are artificial wombs. It's a company in the UK, and this is an ad that they have.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy.
Oh boy.
Of course.
Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a
There you go. So you can be whatever gender you want, and
Sure.
and you can still have kids. Maybe that's the point too.
Well, we got robot wives coming up. Why not robot kids?
Who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline.
Could they make this look any more dystopian?
It's nuts, isn't it crazy? And she just said it's for countries that are suffering from severe decline. So she definitely have Japan there,
Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others.
I mean, instead of solving the issues that are causing that, fertility problems, like, all right, no, let's just do artificial wombs. I mean,
look at this thing. This is like some weird farm. This looks like an Amazon warehouse.
The facility features 75 highly equipped.
I thought it was fake, but it's not.
The art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside.
Oh, I hate this.
I know you would. Ectolife.
Building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year.
This looks like the beginning of a horror cyberpunk movie or something.
And you know what's crazy? Also, like a lot of the abductions, they talk about this, that they see hybrids in these kind of things, in these pods. It's like, maybe it is time travel. I mean, it is us coming back here, and that's what they always warn us about technology too. They're like, stop your obsession with technology. Like that one in South Africa, or the UFO that landed in the school, and it told the kids,
Ariel, South Africa, yeah,
and it could be just us in South Africa, black germs, huh? No germs. I mean, we have trillions of germs.
Yeah, germs are good for you. They help you build your immunity to stuff.
So look, there's an app. so you can monitor your
Dude,
baby.
no.
Yes, dude. Yes.
No.
Wait. There's something even worse.
This is so dystopian. I hate this.
Oh no.
That's fine. We don't need to play anymore. I'm
Okay.
starting to have nightmares. Good
Horrendous.
God in heaven. Of course they'd fucking make it into an app. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Okay. Not just an app, but there's also there's virtual reality. So you can be in there with your baby.
No.
There's this thing that you put on your stomach, so when it kicks, it will kick your stomach too. So you can feel
Oh
it.
no.
I swear, dude. I
Man,
swear.
come on.
I mean, they
This is
thought this through.
terrible.
I hope it doesn't happen. Anyway, this is not working. Whatever. We're an hour and 35. What's this? Buzz Aldrin punched me for calling moon landing fake. Now I'm certain demons fly UFOs.
Yeah, have you seen the video of Buzz Aldrin punching that guy?
Yeah. Did you watch the documentary?
No, I haven't.
I think Long Trip to the Moon or something it's called. It's a low budget film about that we faked the moon landing. And what he did, he goes to each of the astronauts and told them, put your hand on this Bible and swear to me that you went to the moon. And yeah, Buzz Aldrin ended up punching him.
Jeez.
Instead of swearing on the Bible.
If I remember correctly, though, the guy ended up coming around and saying the moon landing was real.
Oh, did he? Or maybe
I believe so. I'm not positive, but I believe so.
A notorious conspiracy theorist who was once punched in the face by an Apollo astronaut now claims UFOs are operated by demonic entities.
Okay, well, are you seeing what's hot on the right now?
Oh, yeah.
Selling nudes online will haunt you for life. There are grim consequences. Gee, no kidding.
Listen to that, kids. Listen to that.
Don't sell your nudes online. Don't do that.
You'll ruin your life forever. Because it's there forever.
It is. The internet never forgets.
Nope. So this guy, that the mysterious entities behind the growing number of UAP sightings have been with us for a long time and were even mentioned in the Bible. He explains It talks about fallen angels interbreeding with humans, as talked about in Genesis chapter 6, and creating a race called Nephilim, who were
the Nephilim.
Men of renown. You know about that WikiLeaks, right? With Hillary Clinton, the email she talks about Nephilim in Iraq, some tomb.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. There's an email. I can look it up. There's an email that was leaked from WikiLeaks.
I know. AJ, our buddy over at the Y-Files. I mean, I call him our buddy, but we've never interacted. But he has several very, very. I mean, all of his videos are fantastic. But he's talked about the Nephilim quite a lot.
So we talk about. I mean, you sent me this. This is ridiculous. I mean, I work in the economy. I have e-commerce stores. I consult people with e-commerce stores. I mean, this guy's no idea. He's just gaslighting people.
This really pissed me off. This is why I sent this to you. JP Morgan CEO. Americans are in quote unquote good shape financially and quote unquote still have money from COVID.
Money from COVID?
What fucking universe do these people live in? This is why I hate when people look up to CEOs or just celebrities in general.
Yeah.
Like you understand that they have nothing in common with you. Like I've been seeing this story circulating recently. I don't know why I keep seeing it, but Britney Spears was saying that she's completely broke. Meanwhile, she still has a private jet. She's still staying in 5-star hotels in the penthouse. She
seriously says she's broke?
Yeah.
I mean, funny.
It's just like, so broke for most people, that means living out of your car if you're lucky, if you have a car.
Right. I mean, hitting rock bottom.
Broke is deciding, do I eat today or, do I don't know, do something else?
Fentanyl.
Yeah. Or do I do fentanyl? I mean, being broke or, or what these people think middle class is just it's a fucking joke.
It's tough out there. I mean, him saying still have money from COVID, that's a handout from the government.
And it was nothing
to do with the economy.
It was nothing. They gave us what, $1,400 and then $600 or something.
Right.
That's That's not even a month's salary for me.
3 years ago. Or 4 years, right?
But we still have to send 10 billion to fucking Ukraine or Israel or
Yeah,
you know.
60 billion to Ukraine, yeah, and then 24, I think, to Israel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, god damn these people. God damn them all.
Yeah, and then they
Sorry,
just print money. Yeah.
I saw this and it really pissed me off, and now I'm pissed off again.
All right, so next now is our buddies. I might skip something because there's an Alex Jones one that's good, but I don't know if it might get us canceled. The Zionist death grip on the United States government.
I'm surprised. Isn't he an Israel supporter?
Yeah, he's against what's happening in Gaza. He says that they've really overstepped overplayed their hand, and now with this new bill that got passed. Actually, we can just go to that and just, I mean, I think our listeners know what grip they have on this country. So Glenn Greenwald says protecting Israel from criticism is more important than Americans' free speech rights.
Oh my God. Get me a handgun and let me know where this guy lives, because holy shit, that's the stupidest fucking take I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
No, wait, no, he's being sarcastic.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So this bill passed this week, and basically here, calling for, aiding, or justifying the killing of or harming Jews. Fine, yes, of course, and that's already illegal. Making mendacious, dehumanizing, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Jews as such, or the power of Jews as collective, such as, especially but not exclusively, the myth about a world Jewish conspiracy, or of Jews controlling the media, economy, government, or other societal institutions.
Oh my God. I can't say what's on my mind because I'll either be killed or this podcast will be canceled.
Accusing Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide than to the interests of their own nations. Man, they clearly openly say it. Like Ben Shapiro and very important figures in our society just openly say it. So it's not like, but now you can't criticize them. You can't say that. Applying double standards to Israel. So you can't, it's about criticizing Israel. Here it is. Drawing comparisons of contemporary Israeli policy to that of the Nazis. So, we can call the U.S. government tyrannical and a police state, and we can say whatever we want, right? It's free speech, but then you can't do that about Israel.
What's that statement or that quote? If you want to know who's in charge, look at who you are not allowed to criticize.
Yep, Voltaire said it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I now have to say this statement. This has nothing to do with Jewish people or the Israeli government. I'm just making a casual statement about if you can't criticize someone, they're the ones in charge.
They're the ones who have power. And look, they have no power, right? AIPAC halts campaign fundraising for Republicans who voted against emergency Israel aid.
Yep.
No power.
I'm just gonna say, yep. That's all I'm gonna say, because I will. If I start screaming, this podcast is gonna be canceled, and you and I are gonna be black bagged and taken to an offshore facility.
Okay. He's a white pill. I skipped some stuff, by the way. Okay, so this guy says, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about this bill. It's toothless. No provisions for arrests, fines, or suspension from social media. In fact, it'll have the opposite effect. Brilliant video like yours, for one. I think, is it a good... Oh, this one. Yeah, it's a good video. But it might get us canceled. And Americans will wonder, hey, why is there so much anti-Semitism? So at the end of the bill, it says, nothing in this act shall be construed to diminish or infringe upon any right protected under the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. So,
and then in very, very small writing, it says, unless you criticize Israel, then your First Amendment rights disappear.
So wait, where was it? In a nutshell, what the Bill 690 Anti-Semitism Awareness Act says is essentially anti-Semitism equals bad. Saying Jews control the world equals bad. Bill cites definition by the Holocaust Remembrance. Holocaust denial equals bad. Okay. No employment discrimination against Jews. Okay. Or any other race. Anti-Semitic speech is protected by the First Amendment.
Ay caramba.
So it's a nothing burger, apparently, according to this guy.
Ay caramba. South Park did a really funny episode where, do you know much about South Park?
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
watched them in a long time though, but I love them.
There's one of the newer episodes is Cartman is convincing, because there's this movement. It's kind of fringe, it's kind of out there, where there's a group of black people that they consider themselves Jews. And
Mhm.
so Cartman is trying to convince Tolkien, the black character, the black kid in South Park,
Uh-huh.
that he's basically the rightful heir to the Jewish throne, and so he should have. And it's he's using it as a ploy to split up his friendship, Tolkien's friendship with one of the other kids. Anyway, there was just
And they can get away with doing that because the writers and not founders, the creators of the show are Jewish.
Yeah, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah,
I'm huge fans of theirs, because I truly think that they're true independents. They're not right or left, and I think they're kind of I think they understand how stupid politics is, and
they're
they're
so
kind of
funny with politics. So I can't wait for them. I mean, if this bill passes the Senate, which they will, I'm pretty sure they'll make fun of it. Pretty sure they will.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So this is really cool. This is AI stuff, and this is Futurama in the 1950s. Here's a bunch of other things. Did you see this?
I never got around to watching it, but I did see you sent it to me.
Yeah, you're gonna love these.
Step into the future of entertainment with Futurama, where the adventures are out of this world. Join Philip J. Fry, a hapless everyman from the 20th century, as he awakens in the year 3000 to discover a universe filled with robots, aliens, and all manner of futuristic wonders. Alongside him is Leela, the fearless captain of the Planet Express ship, and Bender, the beer-guzzling robot with a knack for bending the rules. Embark on a journey through the vivid personalities of Futurama, from Scruffy, the stoic janitor, to the mesmerizing allure of the hypno-toad.
Oh my
But that's
God.
not all. Meet Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth, whose inventions and schemes propel our heroes into one misadventure after another. And then there's the rest of the colorful crew, from the lovable but clueless Dr. John A. Zoidberg to the spirited intern Amy Wong. So strap in and prepare for a journey unlike any other, as Futurama takes you on a wild ride through time, space, and beyond.
Man, AI is so cool. Like when it does stuff
That's
like
super. You've watched Futurama, right? Like, you know what the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my
The
God.
Simpsons in the 50s.
Yeah, that actually is incredible AI stuff.
Stirring up chaos, while Lisa, the middle child, shines with intelligence and compassion. And there's Maggie, the adorable baby. From exploring the enigmatic mysteries of the town's wealthiest resident, Mr. Burns, to navigating the vibrant atmosphere of Moe's Tavern, every moment is a unique experience. Also part of this vibrant ensemble is Ned Flanders, the friendly neighbor whose unwavering optimism never fails to brighten the day. Followed by Krusty the Clown,
Whoa.
the eccentric entertainer who's always ready to put on a show. And let's not forget Milhouse, Bart's loyal and nerdy
Milhouse.
best friend. Explore the wacky world of Springfield, a town where the laughter is infectious, and the residents are always ready to welcome you with open arms.
That's incredible. So funny story about so at my job we all have these printers and they're always on the fritz, and so we give them names so we can like talk down to them, and we're really mean to them and stuff. The guy who sits next to me, he named his printer Bender, and so we're always making jokes about Bender.
Lord of the Rings, but it's in Berlin.
That is wild.
Gandalf!
Is that supposed to be Sauron?
Yeah.
Es ist nie zu spät zum Feiern, Frodo Beutlin. Ebenso wenig wie zu früh.
Yeah.
Aragorn. Legolas.
Yeah.
Sie bringen die Hobbits ins Bergheim.
Crazy.
Man kann nicht einfach ins Berghain spazieren.
Oh, what's his name? The guy from Gondor.
Oh, yeah.
Bewacht als Orks.
Oh, what's her name?
Erwin?
Yeah, Erwin. I love the music.
There we go.
Ich weiß, was du gesehen hast.
Oh, what's her
Denn ich
name?
habe dieselben Bilder im Kopf.
Yeah.
Sie waren ohne uns im Berghain. Garstige kleine Hobbits.
Sneaky little hobbitses. Man, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's a great
AI
job.
is really coming along. I mean, how long before we see a fully AI movie?
Oh, I'm sure like next year or something. It's I just saw an article today that Altman said like ChatGPT 4 would be the dumbest AI would ever interact with very soon. So I mean, Musk warned us, about this. He's like, if we don't control this, and I mean, he started OpenAI. That's what it was called. I mean, yeah, it was called OpenAI because it was supposed to share it with the world, and then they just closed it down and sold it to Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yeah, it's always Microsoft.
I'm starting to realize, because I'm an Xbox guy, as you know, they kind of really suck as a company.
I mean, they've gotten better. Like Xbox. I mean, not Xbox. Microsoft 365. I mean, it's actually pretty good, and they've integrated ChatGPT into it. I think they call it Copilot, like Teams, like because it used to be really buggy with their software. So their software got a lot better. But I mean, as a company, they're a monopoly. It sucks. Like,
yeah,
good luck trying to get anything good out of them.
Well, the future looks what's the opposite of bright?
Foggy.
Yeah, let's go with foggy. I think that works.
Yeah, because I can't see it either, and it's hard to see where this is all going. I mean, it could be bad, it could be good. I know the country is kind of a mess. We're just shoveling money overseas. They're trying to take our First Amendment rights. They don't take care of the border. I mean,
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit apprehensive about this election coming up because the elections keep getting stupider and stupider, and it's just like, oh my god, what are we gonna do?
I mean, there's no way they're gonna let Trump in, are they? There's no way. Or maybe
no, they're not. But every poll I'm seeing has him beating Biden.
Yeah, I mean, he's better for Israel. Maybe they're mad at Biden because he's not doing enough. I don't know. Maybe because he's allowing these students, and although he's not, I mean, or at least the state governments are not.
I just wish Americans were more willing to vote third party. Like, I'd love to see RFK in office. I mean, obviously, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the closest guy who did it was Perot.
Yeah,
he was so close to it, and because he was calling out both sides. Remember, he paid, I think, CNN like $20 million to put him on there for an hour.
I'm too young to really know much about Ross Perot.
Yeah. I remember him on CNN. I mean, I think I was 12 or 13. Am I doxing myself?
No, I think you're good.
So yeah, I mean, that was good, man. There was a lot we went through.
Yeah, it went quick too.
I know, right? Almost 2 hours. I was worried we didn't have enough.
Yeah, I was a little worried too. I mean, obviously we were on a little bit shorter schedule this week since we're recording on a Friday instead of our normal Sunday. But yeah, no, yeah. I think we had plenty. I think, it's funny though. I was thinking about this about halfway through the show. I was like, something really big is going to happen tomorrow.
You think so?
Well, yeah, tomorrow or Sunday.
It always happens, actually.
That's always how it happens. Yeah, it's always like the day after we record.
God help us.
So I did want to say really quick, Oppenheimer is great. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch that. It's fantastic. And I also watched a baseball movie. I watched Major League with Charlie Sheen. That's, I think, from the early 90s.
I forget that movie. I'm pretty sure I watched it. I just don't remember it.
Is so funny.
Really?
And so good. Yeah. And I'm not really much of a baseball guy. I think baseball is boring as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really good. Also another sports show that I watched. Have you? Okay. Well, first of all, I got to start with this. Have you heard of Letterkenny, or do you know what it is? Have I talked about it to you before? So Letterkenny is about a group of friends that live in a small town up in Canada.
Okay.
And it's really all about quick humor. They work on it kind of turns like, so normally in TV shows and movies, people who work on farms are like really stupid and slow, and but these guys all work on farms, but they're all really quick-witted, and it's not really much about anything. It's just about these people living in this tiny town of 5,000 people up in Canada. But they spun off one of the characters into its own show called Shoresy, and it's about hockey. Same type of humor, and it's hysterical. It's heartwarming.
The Canadians are hilarious. They're one of the funniest people on the planet.
But what's so great about the show is the episodes are not very long. They're like 20 minutes, so you don't have to invest 14 hours of your life going through these TV shows. You can just you can get through a full season like in an afternoon.
Oh, nice. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Hulu, which I know
Hulu.
you don't have.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll get a what do you call it? Trial. They make it really easy to cancel.
Yeah. Well, check
Might
it
be
out.
worth it.
I definitely think it's worth it. Just some of it's Letterkenny and Shoresy both are two of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, it's just nonstop hysterical.
I need a good laugh. I'm sure that's good. That's a good laugh.
Yeah,
I still love watching the dystopian stuff, but now we live in one, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
I don't want that.
Either one. They're my comfort shows. Like when I do need cheering up or something, I'll put that on. Oh, also, season 3 of Welcome. Do you know what Welcome to Wrexham is?
No.
Okay, so do you know It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay, the character from that show, Mac, he and Ryan Reynolds bought a football club.
Oh, you told me about this. Okay.
Yeah, they bought a football club in
England or Ireland.
I don't think it's Wales.
Oh, Wales. Okay.
And anyway, it's a documentary, and you'd think it'd be mostly about those two, but it's not. The documentary ends up becoming more about the players and the coaches and just the people in the town, and it's so heartwarming and just
nice.
incredible to watch. And season 3,
did the team do well?
Yes. So not to spoil anything, it doesn't really matter because you could just look it up online, because obviously the documentary comes out after the season. But they got promoted twice. They were in like one of the bottom tiers. I don't exactly know how soccer works all that well, but they're in one of the bottom tiers, and they got promoted not once but twice. And the documentary is about them growing, the organization, rebuilding the stadium, getting the trust of the locals and stuff like that.
Cool.
And it's so cool. Yeah, even I got my mom to start watching it. I don't know how many episodes she's actually seen, but
is that Hulu too?
Yeah, sorry.
It is.
Hulu's is really not that expensive, and I'd say
no, it's not. It's just because we have Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO. Like, it turns out we're gonna have cable too. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know. It essentially is cable at this point. I also watched Dune 2, but we talked about that last week.
Oh, we did. Okay, yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
So we did say that probably part 3 or Dune 2 part 1 will probably come out, which is Messiah, right? Dune Messiah.
Yeah, Messiah is the second one. I want to go back and read the books again. What was I just gonna say? Oh, Oppenheimer. I really wish there were more explosions.
I know, because they teased us in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more explosions, and I think we just got the one.
There's a lot of politics.
Yeah, but
which is fine.
It was interesting, and holy crap, did they have so many stars in that movie?
I know, everyone's in there. Robert Downey Jr. I mean, just everyone.
I didn't even recognize him at first. It took me a couple scenes to realize it was him.
Yeah, he looked so skinny and old.
Yeah, and they had Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, he was really good in there. Who played the General LeMay?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon. He was really good. Yeah.
Oh, I also watched Team America: World Police. That movie's great. I stand by it.
That's the stop photography, the claymation one, right?
It's not claymation, it's
Oh,
puppetry.
puppetry. Oh yeah, it's so funny. It has that puking one that everyone uses.
Oh, did
Fuck
you
yeah,
America? And then the part where they lose, and it's like America.
Yeah, dude. I remember I was
Yeah,
tearing when I
it's
first
like
saw
that.
it, tearing on the floor, laughing
Oh
when it
my
first
god,
came
it's
out.
so funny. Did you end up finishing the Fallout show?
Oh yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I mean, so I'm sure it's going to continue, right?
Oh yeah. They've already greenlit a second season.
Dude, it was so well made. That brain is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so funny. I mean, just the whole thing about the corporation and yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, so is that all in the game too? That backstory and
Okay, so all that stuff that happens in the show, like you don't ever see that in what I'm trying. So the show, I
yeah,
think I said this, it takes place in the same universe. So a
right.
lot of the themes and the stuff they talk about
And
and
the
like
characters.
the characters you're not going to see in the games yet.
Okay.
But the corporations you definitely see in the games. Actually, I
Mhm.
take it back. There is one character in the show that I know is in the game, one of the games, but I don't want to tell you who.
Okay,
Or
okay. All right,
yeah,
cool.
because you got to play them, man.
I know. I'll get there. I know I will. Because I think about it every single week that I want to play it. Every single day, actually, or night. I'll get there when I have free time at some point.
At some point. Well, that's me coughing, and this has been the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Our last episode did pretty well on YouTube comparatively to our other ones last week's. So maybe we're not so much shadow banned over there.
Well, based on the content we discussed this week, especially about a country across the ocean, I'm sure we won't get any.
Oh, come on. We glossed over it. We did. I think we spent 5 minutes on it.
That's enough.
I know.
What's their online defense force called?
JDL.
Yeah.
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 They're actually a terrorist. They're a terrorist group with the FBI.
No, of course they are.
Yeah, they're hectic, dude.
Anyway, you want to tell us or tell the audience where they can find us?
Yes, you can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at UAP the podcast. I'm at Breakaway Civil, and Topher is at Topher It All. Follow us over there, please. And you can interact with us. We tweet that we tweet. Send us some information. Maybe we'll pick it up and talk about it on the show. As you see, we do that a lot. We get a lot of information from X and from Reddit. And then we're on all the podcasting platforms. Our main platform is Spotify. You can watch us on video there if you want, or on audio. And then we're on all the major platforms. And we're on YouTube at Uncovering Anomalies Podcast. Also Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey. I think that's about it. Those ones.
Yeah, and keep the comments and feedback coming.
Yeah, we love it. We really do.
We really do.
It motivates us, keeps us going. We listen to you guys, obviously, whatever feedback you guys give us. I mean, we made it part of the show now, so keep it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love you all. And I think our audience mostly is in the US. Next is in the UK. I have a terrible English accent, so I'm not even going to try. And then,
it's sad too, because we have a grandmother that's from the UK.
Yes.
And I can't do an accent for that either.
Actually, I was going to go to London this summer.
Oh, really?
I have a sister-in-law that lives there.
Nice.
Yeah, but not going to happen this time. And then Canadians are not. Wait, Canadians are number 2. No, Canadians are number 3.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okie dokie there.
Yes, and then Australia, Sweden is up there. So hello, Sweden. You guys.
Hey, I'm a quarter Swedish. The land of the Vikings. Go Sweden.
So I did 23andMe, and I have 14%. So do you get it also from that side? Or is it from the other side?
Yes.
Okay, wait, from the same side as me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 14%, which is You know, I thought it was pretty high. I'm like, whoa.
Sweden is just a land full of beautiful people.
Oh yes, absolutely
Just-
beautiful. Stop taking in those immigrants. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Can't say
Totally
that.
kidding.
Now we're definitely getting the show canceled.
Anyway, we love all of our listeners and our what's the other one? Watchers? Not watchers, dude.
Viewers.
Thank you very much.
Anyway,
right.
that is I Want to Believe Adam.
Hello. I mean, goodbye.
And I am Topher, the Topherist.
All right. Till
We'll
next
see you all
time.
next week.